Hello friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button and join our YouTube family. Thank you for your support. Let's start. The courtroom was shocked. Gwen never made it onto the list of witnesses. She wasn't even sitting with Christine. The judge raised an eyebrow. Miss Brown, do you comprehend the ramifications of testifying here today? Gwen nodded. Yes, Your Honor, but the truth must be told. She stepped forward. Christine's eyes filled. Robyn spoke urgently to her attorney. Kody sat frozen, stone-faced, arms crossed across his chest like a cage. The judge leaned forward. Proceed. Gwen drew a deep breath. Weeks before my mom left, I heard something. Something I never should have heard. Gwen's voice was soft at first, but firm. The burden of what she was going to tell them had obviously been weighing her down for months. I didn't intend to eavesdrop, she said, her eyes darting between the judge and her father. But what I overheard, I couldn't help but remember. She hesitated. Looking around the courtroom, Christine remained still, lips open in shock. Janelle set her chin forward, furrowed brows, viewing heart. Mary, alone in the back, folded, crossed arms tightly, face a mask. Robyn gripped a tissue so tightly it bunched up into a ball. And Kody, he looked straight ahead, gritting his teeth. Gwen went on, finding her voice stronger. It was November mid-mon. My mom had been miserable for a really long time, but nobody understood just how terrible things were. I had been late leaving after I dropped something off for Truly, and I was walking past Robyn's office on the second floor as she left. Her door was shut, but I could hear yelling. It was not typical family drama. Tense, angry, hidden. Kody was muttering something like, "She's going to go through the books." Robyn. Christine isn't stupid. And Robyn shot back. That trust is ours. We cleaned up the paperwork. She can't lay hands on it. The room gasped. Even the judge's pen stopped midnight. Gwen wiped her eyes. I stood there for a moment paralyzed. I didn't get everything, but I recall one thing precisely. Kody said, and I quote, "If Christine learns about the trust, we're ruined." Robyn, we can't let her have anything. Robyn's hand shot to her chest. Her face going white, her mouth dropped open, but nothing emerged. Christine's lawyer glared at Gwen. "You're sure? Verbatim?" "I am," Gwen said with conviction. It seared itself into my brain. Because I knew whatever they were concealing. It wasn't only money. It was betrayal. Kody's lawyer sprang to his feet. "Objection, hearsay." But the judge shook his head. "This is sworn testimony from a direct witness in a familial environment." The judge ruled. "Go on." Gwen met her father's gaze. That's when I knew. You weren't just shoving Mom out. You were ensuring she took nothing with her. Kody lost it. His face turned bright red. He sprang up, banging his fist on the table. "This is absurd. She's manipulating everything. She doesn't know anything about adult affairs. She's a child." "I'm not a child now," Gwen retorted, her anger now fierce. "I saw my mother cry herself to sleep while you shielded her. You deceived us all." The courtroom erupted in tension. The judge brought down the gavel. "Enough," he thundered. "Order in this court." Even the court officers seemed dazed. The quiet in the wake of Gwen's testimony seemed to be deafening. Robyn sat back down, shaking. Her customary calm, tearful demeanor, the one that had been captured on camera for more than a decade, was disintegrating. Her hands shook, her eyes flitted to the gallery where camera crews and reporters edged forward with rapt attention. Then, explosively, Robyn burst. "This is a setup," she exclaimed, rising to her feet once more, voice shrill and agitated. "You all have always despised me. I was defending my family. That trust was never intended to injure anyone." Christine, remaining in her chair, did not blink. "Then why conceal it?" she replied quietly. Robyn's face re-eamed. The judge cautioned, "Mrs. Brown, you will sit or be taken from the courtroom." Robyn sank back into her chair, crying softly. Kody whispered something furiously in her ear, but she shook her head wildly, mouthing, "They're turning on us." Christine leaned in close to her lawyer. "They're unraveling," she whispered. Then suddenly, another voice echoed from the gallery. I have something that might explain why it was hidden. Every head turned. It was Mary. Mary steps out of the shadows. Mary Brown arose slowly from the rear row, her stance rigid. She'd been silent throughout all the hearings. Some believed she'd been with Robyn. Others thought she'd backed away entirely, but now she spoke up. The judge's eyebrows shot up. Are you requesting to testify? I am, Your Honor, she replied bluntly. And I have a letter that I believe the court ought to hear. Kody's eyes widened. Mary, don't. He whispered angrily, but she defied him. A bailiff led the sealed envelope to the judge. Christine appeared shocked. Gwen stared in horror. Even Janelle's jaw had fallen. The judge opened the envelope and read quietly for a very long time. Then he glanced up. This is a handwritten letter from Robyn to Mary Brown, he stated, pushing up his glasses. Dated 2 years ago. Robyn's eyes widened in shock. What? That was personal. Mary broke in. You should have considered that before you deceived us all. The letter that changed everything. The judge went on reading aloud. If the family breaks up, I need to know we're secure. Kody and I discussed it. We'll transfer money into a side account and establish an exclusive trust. It'll be in his name, but I'll control it. The others will be okay. They won't realize for a while. If it happens, it happens. The courtroom was quiet. Each statement was a hammer blow. Christine's attorney stepped forward. Your Honor, this is a contradiction of Robyn's own testimony under oath, that she had no idea the trust had been created or was intended. We request that her credibility be examined formally. Robyn appeared as if she might pass out. She breathed softly to her attorney, who placed a hand on her shoulder, but remained silent. Mary continued to speak more loudly this time. For years, I kept quiet because I thought Robyn's tears indicated that she cared. I was mistaken. She wasn't crying for us. She was crying to save her position, her power. Kody slammed his hand down once more. It's a circus. No, Kody. Mary snapped, her voice cutting harder than ever before. This is reality, and you've been hiding from it for years. The judge waved Christine to the stand. The atmosphere in the courtroom changed. Quieter now, denser, as if everyone was aware of what was about to come. Wouldn't be loud, but would be crushing. Christine moved slowly toward the witness chair. She didn't look at Kody, didn't look at Robyn. Her face wasn't outraged. It was settled. She swore, sat down, then stood up to address the courtroom and the camera. My story doesn't begin with money, she said, her voice firm. It begins with silence. Years of it, she paused. I invested decades in creating a life I believed was holy. We didn't merely create a family. We created a brand, a public persona. Behind closed doors, though, Kody wasn't the guy people watched on television. Kody shook his head vehemently, speaking under his breath to his lawyer, but no objection was raised. Christine went on. He told me to stay sweet. Even when Robyn came into the family and everything changed overnight, he said it was just growing pains. But every time I asked about finances, he told me I was being paranoid, emotional, ungrateful. Her voice cracked, not from weakness, but from release. Gascinated me for years. Told me I didn't get money, that he was keeping me safe from stress, but what he was actually doing was luring me into walking away with zero. She held up a manila envelope. These, she said, are emails, e-texts, and messages I sent Kody over the course of 3 years. All of them asking to be able to access bank accounts to know where our joint money was going. She fixed him with a stare. I never received one honest answer, but now we know why. The emotional turning point. When Kody's bridge finally breaks, Christine's attorney submitted the messages into evidence. Robyn sat there catatonic, her face streaked with tears. Kody was leaning forward, his face red. Objection. His attorney shouted, those were private family communications. The judge shook his head. This is a case of financial fraud in a marital partnership. The objection is overruled. Christine gazed up at Kody now. At last, I never sought revenge, she said. I sought closure. I sought to leave in peace. But you and Robyn ensured I left confused, humiliated, and afraid. I had no work, no home, and no money of my own. You shut me out of everything. Kody lost it. You left the family. Christine, you destroyed this family with your selfishness. No, Christine shot back, not skipping a beat. You ripped it to shreds the day you determined Robyn was more than your fourth wife. Before you go, don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button. Robyn was more than your fourth wife. She was your exit strategy. Gasps echoed through the courtroom once again. The judge's warning and an unexpected twist. The judge stilled the room again. Kody Brown, he stated firmly, you will not speak unless spoken to. I will not abide emotional manipulation within this courtroom. Christine leaned back in her chair, exhausted, but unyielding. I'm not seeking sympathy, she explained. I'm seeking what was rightfully mine, the truth, and that which was taken from me. And then, just as everyone thought the judge was going to ask for closing statements, Christine threw in a final statement. And Your Honor, there is one further item of evidence, one we did not anticipate. The judge twitched an eyebrow.
Go on.
Christine nodded to her attorney, who dropped the new paper on the judge. A recent bank transfer uncovered just days before the hearing from the Brown family account to an LLC listed in Robyn's name for $125,000. Robyn's face blanched. The judge paused for a long, tense moment after scanning the last paper. The $125,000 payment to an LLC listed in Robyn Brown's name. He leaned forward cautiously, setting the paper on the table with a deliberate care, as if the paper itself weighed more than it appeared. Mrs. Brown, he said softly, you swore under oath. You were aware of no other accounts, trusts, or business entities connected with this situation, and yet this, he indicated the paper, betrays you. Robyn didn't answer.
Couldn't.
Her attorney leaned in her ear, but she did not budge. Her eyes filled with tears and her head shook in incredulity, not at the evidence, but at the fact that it was revealed she had been caught. The judge went on, this court concludes that several financial acts were carried on in secrecy beyond the confines of the plural marriages, mutual agreements, and in direct contravention of trust, marital, yes, but legal as well. He addressed Christine, Mrs. Christine Brown, you are hereby granted full restitution of assets related to the family account as of the date of separation and damages in the sum of $40,000 for withheld funds and emotional distress. Christine closed her eyes. For the first time, she didn't weep, she smiled. Not because of triumph, but because of liberation. Kody's meltdown as the gavel came down. Kody lost his cool.
This is crazy, he barked.
We were defending our future. I created this family. I was the glue. And now what? Everyone's just turning on me. His voice boomed through the courtroom, red-faced, wildeed, unspooling before all of them. Not merely the judge, but the public. Mary rose from the gallery and shook her head. No, Kody, you were the glue until you ensured that only Robyn stuck to you. The room gasped. Even the bailiff appeared shaken.
Robyn was sobbing now.
Her shoulders hunched inward. No more anger. No more words. Just a woman who gambled with loyalty and lost everything. Gwen's final words. As the courtroom began to empty, Christine wrapped her arms around Gwen, pulling her close. I'm proud of you, she whispered. But Gwen pulled back and walked up to Kody, face to face with the man who once taught her about family, honesty, and faith.
You lied to me, she said.
Matter-of-factly. But I spoke the truth, and that is what separates us now. Kody had nothing to say. For once, nothing to spin, nothing to explain, only silence. The walk of freedom outside the courthouse. Reporters gathered. Cameras flashed. Microphones pushed forward. Christine didn't conceal herself. She descended the stairs between Gwen on her left and Janelle on her right. The sun touched her skin like a drapery that had finally opened. One journalist yelled, Christine, message to Kody or Robyn? She hesitated, face directly into the camera. Yeah, she replied. Don't confuse silence with weakness, and don't confuse kindness with blindness, and injustice. pain, and a new beginning inside the courthouse. Robyn sat quietly looking at the floor. Kody walked back and forth, his empire falling apart slowly. Mary, she'd already left. And Janelle, she didn't even turn around because the Brown family wasn't just broken. It was over. But for Christine, for Gwen, for the truth, it was only the start. Please hit that subscribe button and join our YouTube family. Thank you for your support. New videos are coming very soon.